Hi. I just want to give a little shout out to a couple of the girls that came from my workshop. Thank you so much for coming. You girls are awesome. I'm really proud of you. I know it's a lot of guts and you guys are really shy, but you guys did awesome. Everyone else, you guys did awesome as well. I loved it. Great night. I wrote half of this poem about a month ago, and I finished it off today. It's a little rough, but bear with me on this. It's called Depth Over Distance, and the other half is called Heartbreak Successor. I knew the moment your name appeared on my screen that something fatal or flawless would come out of this. And with my heart lunging forward and vulnerability standing at the edge of a crossroad, I couldn't help these arthritis-filled words to fill up the page you spilled your lilac wine upon. I smeared your scroll of thoughts with encrypted messages, sweet as rosé or bitter as cider. I was just sired to the idea that we are capable of becoming possible, the same way our roots can unbend and try to intertwine with each other. Highly unlikely, but still possible. Fractions of a chance, but too much of a cynical to let it slip through my fingers like fragments of warm butter-kissed sand. The night we met, my stomach began to screech, as if my head was being filled with overwhelming monstrous schemes, and my lungs, they were being filled acetate. I silently let out a piercing cry when our eyes locked. I couldn't help but allow my lips to separate. I began to hear our smiles form amongst the absence of sound. 20 minutes in, you weren't supposed to touch me, but you caressed my face anyways. And I wish you hadn't, because now the weaving pattern of the thread has changed, and your feelings, they aren't the same. How did something so whole and binding begin to feel like the thunder of the storm we laid under the night that you held me in your arms to keep me safe? Because I feel like a tsunami is springing across our tiny place of a universe, and the tiny possibility slowly erasing itself as you finish plucking the petals of perpetual insecurity I had covering me. The promises you made are shot to hell and just made fractured pieces of despair inside of me. This morning, around 7:54 a.m., the honey-crisp rays of the sun beamed through my window pane and kissed my face so sweetly, it reminded me of you. And just like that, I felt cold. I had felt ice begin to form on these lips, and my feelings had still been traveling on the west coast all the way back to your small town. I still feel homebound, but I can't stop to think of the words my father had once told me. Don't make homes out of people. They'll just turn you into a stranger in your own living room and a sinner in your bedroom. You made me feel beautiful, and now I'm just full of bottled aged wine with no more cork to seal it to harvest. But I had gone tasteless, and you had lost all craving to me because you stopped calling me beautiful, because the vision you now see that it was perfect, you just no longer wanted the woman attached to it. I'm no longer the foundation where you can feel steady, yet we're trying to walk the same tightrope, but it ended up being two different lines. Lines of string, pacing back and forth, trying to spiral opposite directions, scared we'll meet at the center, too ashamed, too fearful that we might actually fall together. But there is no more chance. Just parallel lines that won't cross, nor destiny nor constellation can allow it to occur. The depth of the fall would have been polarized extremities away from each other, but don't tell me you want me, but don't want to put in the work. Struggling through ambition, distance between us, it's worth the memories we could share together. I would take deep depths of the pain you are causing me for the chance that distance is just a number. Time zones, yeah, they're just a measurement of seconds, and that our roots will find themselves under the soil. Our paths could possibly intersect, even though according to analytical mathematics, that just simply doesn't exist. But the sky is my point of view, and you are just a memoir of a one-night monologue I just can't put to an end. But wait, there's part two. Heartbreak Successor. Why do people think it's completely okay to keep you hanging? I guess there was so much midnight about me, I had kept you guessing for a few hours at a time, typically after hours, where your hand was searching for my body until they laid on my waist and your cheek glued to mine, our breaths touching each other's personal space, wishing you had invaded the whole way in, but you didn't. Loneliness. During the day, you were amused by others. During darkness, I'm beginning to wonder whether or not I'm just your boredom text, because when all the lights were turned off, it was me that you saw. Escape into my thoughts, release to my passions through literacy. For once, I thought someone finally fell for my thoughts instead of wanting to fall into me, because I'm constantly reminded that I'm only there when your fucking loneliness needs its fix. Why did you think it was okay to keep me hanging? Is it because my body looked like a torn up map, coexisting on different parts of the world? Forget it, it was just the surface. Because I'm feeling a lot like Champagne Ivy, trying to romanticize upon Jekyll's intellectuality, but the ego came kicking in and I caught myself running from Hyde, seeking to pursue love in the midst of insanity. Complexions as fine as crappleware, one drop in the memories began to sprout into my heart, leaving thorns that began to splinter me inside out. Trying to seek for the most conventional form that existed of you, but did that even exist? This transformation is just too disturbing for me, because I'm praying that this is all just a part of some late night dreaming. When will the storm shake awake the ocean of my sleep? Because all I see are two different transfused souls fighting for dominance, possession. Heartbreak, Successor. Does that even exist? Heartbreak, Successor. Because how can you win at heartbreak? Thank you.